Solving two-step equations. Well, anytime you're solving an equation, no matter what kind of equation, your goal is to solve for the variable, get that variable alone. For all two-step equations, your first step, you want to use the inverse operation to cancel out the term not directly with the variable. And I will show you that when I do the examples, what I mean by that. Then you'll rewrite the new equation. From there, you will look to see if there's more to do, and if there is, you will use the inverse operation again to cancel out the remaining value with the variable showing the step on both sides. Okay, and then your last thing, you need to make sure you write the variable equals your answer. Or you can write the answer equals the variable. Either way, it's the same thing. Okay, so hopefully you know inverse operations are opposites. So like if I have addition, the opposite of addition is subtraction. The opposite of multiplication is division. Now this other part that we haven't seen really yet is the opposite of squaring is the square root. They cancel each other out. So squaring and square root are inverse operations, and that right here is something you will see when we get to Pythagorean theorem later on in the year. All right, so let's take a look at this first example. The first example says negative 3x minus 7 equals 14. Now looking at the side that has the variable, we want to use the inverse operation to cancel out the term not directly with the variable. Well, that negative 3 is directly with the variable, so we want to cancel this off, okay? I like to draw my line here. Well, we want to cancel it from the left side and move it to the right side, and in order to do that, you have to do the inverse. Well, that says minus 7 or negative 7. The opposite of that is plus 7. Now what you do to one side of the equation, you have to do exactly the same on the other side. So now I'll bring down what is still here, so negative 3x equals 21. From here, looking at the side that has the variable, it says negative 3 times x, so the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3, and x will equal negative 7. That would be your answer. Okay, so let's continue on to another example. Now, these are not in your slide notes. I added these additional examples in here because these ones are written a little bit different from that first one that I just did, but it works the same way. So looking at the side, I'll draw my line here, looking at the side that has the variable, now this time it's on the right side. So I'm going to look at the number not directly, so the negative 4 is directly with the variable, so it's that positive 5 that we need to get rid of. To do that, opposite of plus 5 or positive 5 is a minus 5 or negative 5. So put that here, both sides. Those will cancel out. Now what am I left with? Well, starting on the left side, I like to always work from the left side to the right. I have negative 15 minus 5. That would give me negative 20. Bring down my equal sign, and there is still a negative 4m over here. On the side that has the variable, it is not by itself yet, so we need to get rid of that negative 4 that's getting multiplied right now. So inverse of multiplication is division. Divide by negative 4, that would cancel that out. Divide by negative 4 over here. So my answer, if I have negative divided by negative, that's a positive. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Use your calculator, you are able to. And so 5 equals m. So like I said, you can write the variable equals the answer or the answer equals the variable. Same thing. Okay, let's keep going. So the next problem, let me draw my line down my equal sign, looking at the side that has the variable. Now this is flipped around. On the other ones, the variable term was first, whether it was on the left side here or on the right side over here, but this time they're flipped around. Still, same thing. You want to cancel out the term that is not directly with the variable like that -6 is. So it's a +10. What's going to cancel out a +10 is a -10. So subtract 10 there, subtract 10 here. Tricky part on this now. Some will bring down just the 6v, but if you ignore what I have crossed out, that minus sign is your -6v, and that is still there. So you need to bring down that -6v equals, do your subtraction. So -104 minus 10 is actually going to give you a -114. From here, you need to divide both sides by the -6, and when you do that, you will end up with v equals 19. And there's your answer. So there's a few examples so far of just these basic two-step equations. I'm going to get a little bit tricky very shortly. All right, so this next one I have is with a decimal. Not too bad. You just need to make sure you know the process. It still works the same. You're just involving decimals now. All right, so 0.5x plus 17 equals 15. On the side that has the variable, the 17's got to go first. So +17 would cancel out with a -17 or -17. Cross those out, bring down what is still on the left side. So 0.5x equals 10 minus 17 would give you a -7. And again, notice most of the time the last step we do is the division step, but it's not always the case, so just be careful with that. And x equals negative divided by positive is a negative, and this will give you a -14. Okay, next ones. So now we got this fraction looking kind of problem. Still going to be done the same way. Okay, so draw my line here. Looking at the side that has the variable, do we cancel out that 4 first or that 9? Well, the 4 is directly with the variable, so it's going to be the 9 that's got to go first. Well, what is that 9 doing? What's the inverse of what's happening with that 9? Well, this problem says 4 times x divided by 9. So if it's being divided by 9, that means we need to, inverse of division is multiplication, so we're going to multiply by 9 here and multiply by 9 here. So what is still on the left side is 4x equals -225. Notice here's that last step again. To get that variable alone, you are going to divide by the 4. Divide by 4, and x will equal 56.25. A negative divided by a positive will give you a negative answer. So that's what you would end up with. Okay, moving along. Another one, but now, unlike before, the fraction was all together. Now we have a fraction, and then we have a constant separate from that fraction. Let's see how this one works. Okay, now draw my line, looking at the side that has the variable, m divided by 3 minus 12. Well, the 3 is directly with the variable, so that means the -12 has got to go first. Remember, the operation right in front of the number is also its sign. So even though that says subtract 12, it's also like a -12. So opposite of that, inverse would be +12, +12. Cancel those off. What is still on the left side is m divided by 3. Work that out, that would be 22. Now when I look here, m is being divided by 3, so the inverse of division is multiplying. So that means I need to multiply both sides by 3. And m will equal 66. Okay, not too bad. And just a couple more. All right, so these ones, I put them backwards. And I say backwards because this time the variable is on the right side. So, looking at the right side that has the variable, r divided by 20 minus 5. The 20 and the r are directly connected, so it's going to be the -5 that's got to go first. Okay? So, inverse would be plus 5 plus 5. On the left side, -4 plus 5 gives you 1 equals, bring down the r divided by 20. And last step, looking at the side that has the variable, r is being divided by 20, so the inverse of dividing is multiplying. So multiply by 20 there, multiply by 20 here, and 20 will equal r. Okay, next one. On the side that has the variable, -6 plus x divided by 4. X and 4 are directly connected, so that -6 has got to go first. Go bye-bye. All right, now we see a -6. Inverse would be +6 or a +6. Okay. Bring down what is still on the left side. This time it's a positive here, so we could put the positive or we don't really need to. Okay, -5 plus 6 is 1. Multiply both sides by 4 because x is being divided by 4. So times 4 and x will equal 4. Okay, now one last problem. Now on this last problem, this one is set up a little bit different than the rest. So let's take a look. We do have v plus 9 all over 3. So the quantity of v plus 9 divided by 3 equals 8. So on the side that has the variable, we see that the 9 is directly with the variable, so we get rid of that 3 first. And that 3, you're dividing by 3. So if you're dividing by 3, inverse is multiplying by 3 and multiplying by 3 here. Okay, what is still on the left side, we bring that down. So v plus 9 equals 24. And from here, get rid of that plus 9, subtract 9 here, subtract 9 here, and you will find out that your answer to this problem is v equals 15. And that is your solving two-step equation notes. Good luck.